Huh? What is all this happening? Wow, I look good on camera. Hmm. uh, Let's test the mic. Mic testing. One, two, three. Uh, are we live? Huh? Hello, everyone. I'm Hare Kaka. And everyone, welcome, welcome to the TLR shows. How are you all doing?
Hare Kaka, Namaste. What are you doing here? And now, are you trying to steal my lines?
Oh, no, 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 no. For a change, I got to enjoy the limelight.
Mm, I see. You want the limelight. Well, you don't have to worry about that at all, Hare Kaka. Today's show is all about your friends, you, and of course, the whimsical hands that have created you all. So you have absolutely nothing to worry about. And yes, thanks a lot for the mic test you just did for me.
Thank you.
Well, you definitely, I'm going to get back to you. So please do stick around. To everyone live with us today, thank you so much for joining in. A warm welcome to our regular audience, and of course, to those who are joining us for the first time as well. Allow me to tell you a little about TLR Now. TLR Now is a niche coaching, training, and mentoring service provider based out of Pune in India. TLR shows, which we are on right now, is a place where we bring some amazing people who inspire us to go above and beyond. So, welcome to TLR shows, everyone. I am Isha Vikram, a trainer in early childhood education, and your host for the next hour. I have worked in the cultural sector in Belgium, and my goal in life is to introduce empathy, compassion in early childhood with the mission to make the world a more respectful and tolerant place to live in. And I'm sure all the puppets and all the friends of Hare Kaka that we're going to meet are going to talk about similar topics, and we're going to explore the world of puppetry through the puppets and the whimsical hands that handle the puppets. I am always open to meaningful collaborations to spread the message of empathy across the world. And that brings me to our guest for today, Rinty Sen Gupta, whose name now is synonymous with hands and stories. Rinty has lived in the world of wonder of puppetry in its many forms. She started as a graphic artist and then switched gears to become a teacher, a coordinator, a storyteller, and a professional puppeteer now. She enjoys writing her own scripts and songs for her puppet shows. Rinti also conducts trainings in the art and craft of storytelling, voice modulation, puppet making, and manipulation. She has a regular batch of little children who love to listen to her stories, and I am sure we are going to too. This episode is all about life, art, and the artist behind the work. We will talk about Rinti's dedication to an art form that has been around for centuries and is still very young. Welcome to the show, Rinti. Where is
Where is
Rinti?
he?
Do you know where Rinti is, Harikaka?
Let me see where she is.
Yeah. Hi, Rinti. Thank you,
Hello, hello,
Harikaka.
Isha. Hi.
How have you been? How are you feeling?
Good, wonderful.
It's incredible to have you here, and thank you for introducing us to Hare Kaka to begin with. It was a lot of fun to talk to him.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, to begin with, I would love to know a little about you and how you started up things in puppetry. In your introduction, we discovered that you started as a graphic designer and then changed your gears quite a lot many times to become what you are today, which is a puppeteer, of course. So, what was the trigger for this move? Is there any special incidents that you can tell us about, or just what was the inspiration?
So, actually, I began my journey with accountancy, actually.
Oh, wow.
And after starting with that, I realized that I have no inclination to do something like this for 8 hours a day. And I
Mm.
jumped into graphics, yeah, graphics, and I was really enjoying it.
Right.
But marriage and kids decided me or made me decide that I should move on to something which I can manage, and balance my life. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I jumped into teaching, and I love children, right, Kaka? Yeah, we both love children.
I see that.
Yes, and we both love children, and that's what really helped me go towards teaching.
Mm-hmm.
But after a few years, I realized that I was stuck to the same curriculum and the same kind of, bookish knowledge, and I wanted to give
Mm-hmm.
much more to children.
Okay.
And as time went by, I realized that I could do much more with stories. Yeah, stories. And
Mhm.
with puppets. And
Right.
I was very lucky. I think in 2017, right, Kaka? Yeah, 17, you became a coordinator. Yes, I was a coordinator at that time. And I was handling a batch of 20, I think, 20 children who
Mm-hmm.
were, lagging a little behind in their studies. Right,
Mm-hmm.
Kaka? And I thought of innovative ways to make sure that they are able to cope up with the regular studies,
Mm-hmm.
which were stories and simple puppets. That time I was not even trained for anything, so I cut out my child's T-shirt and drew something on it, and I just made a crude puppet.
Right.
And yeah, what was it, Hare Kaka? It was a giraffe. Yeah, it was a giraffe, and kids loved it. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw the way they started, responding to the way I taught.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic. And I realized that this is the time I should put down my papers and take this profession very seriously. So I quit by, I think, 2006, 17. Yeah, the same year I quit when after working for a year in school
Mm-hmm.
and as a coordinator, of course. And then I was staying in a place like Karwar where many courses were not available.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, it was not the virtual boom like it is this time in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I decided to wait. And we
Mm-hmm.
moved to Mumbai because we had a transferable job. And that's when I did a full-fledged course in puppetry and also did some other things. And that's how my journey started.
That
Right,
is
Kaka?
lovely. That is lovely. Yeah, it's so nice to hear of inspiring stories, because a lot of times in our lives, what we do is we always have a most of the people have dreams. Most of the people, there are some people who want to realize their dreams and have not yet reached there. But for those who have realized their dreams or are yet to realize their dreams, we keep thinking about delaying the process. And that, I think, if you get your calling, you should act on it. And yeah, that's just my belief. And I think what you did at whatever stage in your life, it is giving you joy, and that is, I think, the most crucial thing in life. That's what we need in life today.
Yes.
Yeah. I also recognize that puppetry as an art form impacts life. a lot. In my personal experience as well, I remember as a kid when I used to watch some, I went to Rajasthan once and I watched some puppet show, and it just was so intriguing. It was so captivating, and the attention could not go anywhere else but for the storytelling that was happening. So I would love to know how this art form impacted or changed your life, and not just your life, but maybe people around you, your friends, your family, because as a puppeteer, it has impacted students and children and others. But personally, how it has impacted you?
So I'm a hands-on mom,
Hmm.
and I have two boys who keep me very busy, and I am physically and mentally drained at the end of the day.
Sure.
So I think everybody searches for a solace, like Hare Kaka searches for a solace in a cup of tea and his newspaper. Right,
Hmm.
Kaka? He was just sipping tea when I came.
Yeah.
And similarly, I also needed that, that kind of a solace where it is not sitting and watching television at least.
Hmm.
And this came as a blessing in my life. It started giving me that kind of, mental peace. I
Mm.
was more relaxed. I think I was dealing with my children better also because of this, because I was mentally and creatively where my creativity was being channelized in the right way.
Right.
So that was one thing. And how it impacted my family, the first thing, they got a calmer mom. And then,
Yeah.
secondly, it's good to see, your mom doing something else other than the housework. I think my children feel very proud when they see me as a puppeteer,
Yeah.
even
Sure.
though they don't see it, but I know that they really like it.
Yeah.
And they do contribute a lot in my work. This year we have been, in spite of all this pandemic happening, and we decided to go online. Become virtual, everyone. So I went on to make a channel, and my whole family has pitched in.
That's
My little
lovely.
one lends his voice, because there are some voices which I can't,
Mm.
modulate. Even though I can modulate it to up to 5 or 6 voices, but I can't do a particular voice. Maybe the very cutie child voice, maybe,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
maybe a manly voice, like a baritone, like so.
Right.
Here are family pitches, and my children also help me with their musical instruments, and it's
Mm,
fun. So I can see the growth happening and the involvement as a family, which is very important. We're spending
yeah,
time together, and I'm also able to follow my passion. So it's like, what more would I want?
mm, that is
And
true.
what I see is, my puppets connect with children of all ages. Initially for elder children, there is a little bit of, resistance, because they say, "What is this? The puppet hai, ye to putla hai." That's what they say.
Mm,
It's a doll hai. We don't want to listen to the doll. And the
mm,
first thing I tell them, yeah, it's a doll. He's a
mm,
puppet. He is lifeless. But जब मैं इसको पहनूंगी, when I wear my puppet, then you see the magic, and then
right.
they start enjoying it. So even though there is resistance, there is a lot of acceptance, and because of the puppet's nature, that the puppet never judges you. It has no ego. मैं इसको कुछ भी बोल सकती हूँ और ये मुझे कुछ भी बोल सकता है. I don't feel bad. He doesn't feel bad because he's not judging me.
Mm,
And that is the beauty of the puppets, which helps me connect with the children outside and impact their lives. I can
mhm.
pass on messages which I could have never even dreamt of. है ना काका? हाँ, हमने इतना मस्ती किया बच्चों के साथ. मैंने तो इतना कभी कभी डांट भी दिया. I was scolded them, but they all took it so sportingly.
It's not just with kids, Rinty. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what. The
Yeah, no,
impact सब जगह पे हो रहा है,
yeah,
everywhere.
because you know what? It's incredible. I can't stop laughing or just smiling when Hare Kaka is saying something, because it genuinely feels like I'm talking to him, and you actually have brought life to him. So I'm trying to listen to you, and then when Hare Kaka is doing this, it just brings that the joy in me just looking at him, because we are very cute, Hare Kaka. Yeah. So
Thank you.
yeah. So what I want to say is, I will take the lamplight away from you for just a bit, Rinty, because Hare Kaka has stolen the show for a bit, and also he was craving for some lamplight in the beginning. But want you.
He's so happy.
So yeah, the thing is that you, Hare Kaka, made me feel so comfortable. You're quite a lot of fun, and had it been up to me, honestly, I would have skipped this and hung out with you. But I just want to ask you, um, how how love back to you. I just want to ask you, how are you so pumped up all the time, or are you even pumped up all the time? How are you this way?
That's a very different question. Thank you for asking that, Isha. You
Well,
know,
there we go.
uh, I am happy all the time. I have to be. My job is to cheer children.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I also have different moods because I can transform. You know, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of a Mayavi puppet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what is Mayavi?
What is Maya way?
Someone who can transform. Do you
Nice.
want to see my transformation, Isha?
Why not? Why not? Any time for transformation, please do.
Okay, wait. Here goes my spectacles. आराम से काका बहुत जोश में आ रहे हैं.
Hmm. Super excited.
Here goes my mustache. Oh my god, Kaka, you look so young and handsome now. Oh my. And now I get
What are those?
my pinky monster horns.
Oh, interesting.
What happened?
What happened?
I'm Bosky now. I'm not Hare Kaka anymore. I am Bosky, you know?
Hi, Bosky. Why are you so sad?
Isha, I am a little shy guy, you know? I'm just not like Hare Kaka.
But that's okay. That's okay. It's okay not to be like Hare Kaka. You're yourself.
But I have a problem, you know?
What's your problem?
I I feel happy, sad, angry, scared, everything at the same time. I can't control my emotions.
Oh, and so what are we doing? See,
He always wants
oh, it's always nice to have a hug. Oh, so that's your new. That's the other character, Bosky, whom you've transformed from Hare Kaka. That is,
yeah.
it's quite interesting. Yeah, very hands-on, Rinty. This is incredible. Can you tell me a bit more about Bosky? How did you? What is Bosky all about?
So Bosky happened for a friend who was very keen on me coming and hosting a
Mm-hmm.
show for the children who were very bored during monsoons.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought because the age was very vast, the age was like from the age of 3 to 15 or 16. It was very
Mm-hmm.
difficult for me to come
Right.
across a story or a character which everybody would connect. That's the time I thought of this story. This is called The Color Monster. And
Uh-huh.
I re-scripted it. And I thought this is the best way, another way for the children to understand emotions and deal
Definitely.
with. And
Definitely.
however, or whatever your age is, it becomes difficult for everyone to to recognize an emotion sometimes, or even
Definitely.
sense emotion sometimes and be compassionate about it and sympathize, or show empathy, or even express your own emotion. I've seen many boys not wanting to cry because they have been torn off. Or I've seen many children who are not able to even control the anger, just like Bosky, right? So then with Bosky, I tell the children that it's okay to express all the emotions. And how do you release these emotions? So we talk about giving solutions. And when Bosky expresses distress, the
Mm-hmm.
children comfort him. That is the best part. So all those suppressed emotions which the kids have, they express.
Wow.
So I can't explain how beautiful it is when I do it live. I mean, children
Wow.
come up, they hug him, and they tell him, Bosky, it's all right. If you're angry, breathe. Whatever I've told them during my session.
Yeah.
It's okay if you're angry, go and punch a pillow, go and hug your mama. They give him solutions, and they just uh, understand his problem, which is what I want them to know.
Exactly. Much, much needed. It's incredible what Bosky is doing because as you said, recognizing emotions is the first step to empathizing. So
Yes.
this is a good job, Bosky. You see, with
Thank
yeah, yeah, with all kinds of emotions that you have, you're creating a big impact in on society and on people. So I really appreciate you for that.
you. Isha, you're so sweet. I want to give you this. My pink heart. Cute. Mom, oh, you're so cute.
That is
I
so
want to hug
sweet.
you.
A lot of thought has gone into Bosky, Rinty. I see that. That is very sweet. You know what? I have another question for Bosky. It is really interesting to see that, Hare Kaka has an alter ego. And I think there is a lot to learn from both Hare Kaka and from Bosky. So now that we have Bosky with us, I would like to ask you a question, Bosky. I would want to know what you think of Hare Kaka. What do you like the most about Hare Kaka?
Mm, Me and Hare Kaka are, people, normal people. But uh, we try and we spread joy. We try and we show people that it's okay to have a bad day,
Mm-hmm.
and but we must overcome. And if someone is having a bad time, we need to be with them. That's what is the best part about Hare Kaka. He cheers us up, and he always tells us that never ever give up. He is so comforting, and that's what I like about him, the never giving up attitude.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, do you learn something from Harikaka as well? Yes. Nice. That's really nice, Rinty. I know that I am a little too involved with your creations because they are a lot of fun to interact with. So I will just ask one last question from Bosky, if that is okay with you.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to know what kind of a puppet are you?
you
Hmm.
want me to tell? Yeah. So Bosky is an extension of a glove puppet. So there are four forms of puppetry which many of you know. I'm sure all the audience also know about it: the string and the shadow and the rod and the glove. But in
Mhm,
the 1960s, the US came up with this mouth in the glove, and it was called a Muppet. Now, the
mhm,
best part of a Muppet, it talks. And that's why it attracts children more, because once it comes into its character, it seems as if it's almost real. I mean, children
right.
know that it's a toy, but after some time, because of his actions and because of the way he talks, they start, loving him and accepting him as another entity, another person.
Mm.
So that is the beauty, and so yeah, I'm a Muppet, and I can talk.
Ah, you know now. You know now that you're a Muppet. That is great.
Isha, one
Yeah.
more thing about me and Kaka
Yeah.
is that we have a light hand. So that
Ah,
helps me touch the children, give them a high five, mm, blow them a kiss, or even drink a glass of water. How fun is that?
that sounds like fun. That really sounds like fun.
So, you want to see how I open up my hand?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
when the show is over, the children are very curious that what is going on inside.
Hmm.
So I always show them that how I wear the puppet on, how I get the puppet out. So normally Bosky helps me get his own live hand out. He's very helpful,
Yeah, I
right?
see that.
Yeah. So now the hand is out. And then I slide him out from behind.
Uh-huh.
We get Bosky to rest. So now my Bosky needs to rest
Bye bye,
because he.
Bosky.
So Bosky, how about going for a rest, a small nap?
Yeah. All right. See you soon. That's lovely. It's also nice how you incorporated the taking out of the puppet and also showing us the way it is done. It's really nice to understand what is going on behind, and it looks like a lot of effort to keep doing this with your hand while like you both your hands are engaged and make that coordination and then also be speaking at the same time. It feels like it's a lot of hard work.
There is a lot of hard work, Isha, and because it's a live hand, so one hand actually talks and the other hand has to gesture, as well as the hand has to keep the personality, whether he's slow, fast, active, lazy. Depends on my puppet to puppet. I have to behave that way. So
Hmm.
yeah, it is challenging, but I think it's quite good because my mind is working a lot. It's a good
Hmm.
thing. And second thing I do this opening of the puppet thing, and I'm looking at it now purposely too. I always do that when even I'm doing a live show. Isha, what happens is if I don't respect my puppet, the children will never respect.
Hmm.
It has to be treated like a being. It has to be treated with respect, with love. So when I'm opening it, you saw how I cuddled it and kept it inside. So it's very important because we don't have to tell them, these children. They're seeing and they're watching and they're listening. That's
Yes.
enough. So
Mm.
whatever they are looking at, they are listening. That is enough for them to understand how to behave in the society.
Right, right. That's really nice. It's all about like learning about empathy and starting to practice compassion. According to me, is a continuous process, and you learn what you see, and especially with children, it's even more impactful. So, I get a feeling that Bosky is a great help here.
Yes, he is.
Mm, yeah.
He is, and he has. I mean, as I've told you, did a recent show. I think two shows, one for an NGO and one for a school with Bosky, and with the same story. And there were more than 280 children. They were unmuting and they were like constantly consoling Bosky. Bosky, it's okay. Even I cry, Bosky. I also do this, Bosky. I also get angry. It's normal, Bosky. I was like so happy the way they were connecting and they were talking and they were chatting with him. And all I couldn't keep a track, because my two hands are occupied
Right.
as to what they typing. But I could see those messages coming in and them consoling him and understanding his emotions. It was great. It was great. I mean, message is fast.
Correct, correct. Incredible. That's so nice. It's so nice that when you're doing something, you've created a character and you see the impact happening in front of you live. I can't even imagine what a wonderful feeling that would be for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In our conversations, we've talked a lot about transformation. We've used the word transform quite a lot of times, like practically we also see it, but also like in conversations we're talking about it a lot. So, what does the word mean to you? What does transformation mean to you?
Transformation for me is change to be a better person. It's something which I cannot set a boundary or define, I feel, for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's an ongoing thing because every time uh, I want to become a better person. Um, and for doing that, I am trying to do something nice, something good, or I'm trying to reach out. And I'm realizing at the end of it that, you know, unknowingly, I'm able to influence, I'm able to motivate, and that pushes me more towards, transforming into a more better person.
Right.
So it's a process which is on. That is what I feel is transformation. And you are you're over so many things. You can uh, un, uh, I'm not getting the exact word, but you can be yourself. You can learn how to forgive people. I'm just saying that is a kind of transformation which I'm experiencing now, which after changing myself so much. You
Mm.
can uh, live with things which make you happy. You can laugh like a child. That is what is transformation. It is, you know, being as you are, loving yourself, then only you end up loving everyone, of course. But these small, small things are transformation. These small, small things. And
Absolutely.
it impacts everybody, I think, in their lives.
Absolutely. Incredibly said. The small things that make a lot of difference, for sure. For sure. Yeah. When we're talking about transformation, and we're talking about puppetry, of course, the transformation through puppetry. Let's talk a little more about some of the challenges that come with puppetry. And I'm not just talking about challenges in terms of performance, which we've already talked about a bit right now, but also in keeping the art form alive. Now that we have advanced animation technology, do you think puppet shows can still be attractive for children?
Isha, for children who are very small, I mean, for children who are 3 and 4 or even younger, it, puppets are always appealing. Of course, there are a lot of elements which go into puppetry. It's just not a doll which is working. There are elements which I'll be talking about later. But when it comes to little bigger children, little children who are maybe above the age of 7 or maybe 6,
Mm-hmm.
the mind starts thinking in a different, and the exposure, like you said, with the animation and everything, the
Yeah.
exposure that they are getting is phenomenal. So here I would like to tell you two small short stories. One
Mm-hmm.
is I had attended a workshop around 5 years back.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very wonderful lady who was an ex-cancer patient, and she was giving us a workshop on parenting.
Mm-hmm.
And I can never forget what she said. She said that, if your child is getting a stimulus for 400x, his mind is also running at 400x because he's constantly in that zone. And you, as a person, is talking to him or teaching him or giving him something in 10x. He's not going to listen to you. He's going
Mm-hmm.
to say, just go away. And he's going to like either get bored, which
Yeah.
many teachers these days complain also because children are not paying attention because too much is
Mm-hmm.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm coming back to reality. So I'm sharing you the second story. I had to
Right.
perform in a school where the children were class 9 and 10. You can imagine 14, 15-year-old children. And the
Mm-hmm.
minute I entered with my puppet, they all giggled and laughed.
Mm-hmm.
They made those cat sounds and dog sounds. I knew this is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
They said, why should you into this doll and all, And told them, was, I tell them two stories. There are two stories I tell. I'm going to share one with you. I tell them that, I got a free voucher to go to a shop and enjoy cupcakes for 2 days. But how many cupcakes I can eat is decided by the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just created this story. So the first day I go, the shopkeeper gives me 50 cupcakes, 50 chocolate cupcakes. And he tells me you have to eat it in 30 minutes. And yeah, so I'm happy free kamal hai bhai, why to leave it? I gobble up the 50
Right.
cupcakes in 3 minutes. And after that, the shopkeeper just asked me, can you just describe the taste of the cupcake? And I say that it was tasty. And he asks what else, and I say gooey. And he says what else? I say chocolatey. And he says what else? And I said that's all. He says come tomorrow. And I go the next day because it's a 2 days voucher. The next day, give me only 2 cupcakes. Now there's a condition that day also. I have to eat those 2 cupcakes in 30 minutes. Now I eat those 2 cupcakes slowly, enjoy it. And then he asked me, what was the taste? And I say it was crumbly. It had a, you know, crunchy texture. Maybe there were choco chips. It was little gooey, like chocolava cake in the center. I could taste hazelnuts, some nuts. And I went on. I go on with my
Mm.
children. And at the end, he says, why did this happen?
Mm.
Because you slowed down. Sometimes you must slow down and try new things. The first thing I tell my children who are of a elderly age, they think they are already grown ups, little grown ups.
Yeah.
And after this story, they are ready to accept my puppet. I don't know what is the magic of this.
Well, it is a story of magic, of time and patience, and it is quite a nice, relatable story. And with your storytelling, I actually was stuck because I needed to know what was happening on the second day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be more difficult. It happens that they still don't want to. They says, okay, you got 2 vouchers. We didn't get 2 vouchers. Why should we be slow? So
Mm.
I have one more for this. I carry a drum and I tell them that this drum costs 5,000 rupees. Who wants to buy it?
Mm.
They say they all say no. Nah, that's what they do. The guys, these are girls these days. And I tell them, okay, now I'm telling you a story. And I tell them a story where I'm beating the drum and I'm constantly drumming and I'm telling the story. And then I tell them who wants to buy it now. 50% raise their hands. I said that's the power of stories. That's
Mm.
the power. You have to try. If you don't give it a chance, how will you know how effective it is? You give a
Right.
drum a chance, simply give this puppet a chance. Then they give my puppet a chance and then they love it. They want more. They want to click pictures with the puppet. I mean, each child hugs the puppet and goes with a pic. Those 15-year-olds.
That's nice. Nice. And so nice to
My
experience these
trade secrets,
movements.
Isha, are
Sorry?
coming out here. My trade secrets are coming out here.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you don't want to keep it yourself because there are too many people who want to learn from you and from your incredible work that you're already doing. So thank you so much for sharing your tiny little stories too, because it's important for almost for adults as well as for children to get involved in every kind of art form that is possible, just for the exposure of it, because knowingly unknowingly I believe it teaches us a lot. So and that's why what you're doing with this older children is also, yeah, and the way you handled it is also really nice. um,
After all that meow and that all that,
yeah,
I was scared to Isha. I will not lie. It is
yeah.
quite scary at times.
Yeah, no, it can get overwhelming. To just be vulnerable and expose yourself to everybody with all that you've got, it can be vulnerable. So handled very well. Congratulations. Uh, yeah, pat
Thank
on
you.
the back. Uh, I wanted to know if Bosky is your first, not your Muppet, right? Bosky is a Muppet because he has a mouth. So is Bosky your first Muppet?
Well, no. Uh, I've had a lot of trials before Bosky because Bosky is very technical. He
Mm-hmm.
has a very technical mouth, which if you don't see, you can't understand. It's a very technical mouth, which is very comfortable, and I can handle him for an hour if I want him to be handled. Plus, he has a live hand. So there's a story again. I always have stories for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm going to keep you entertained with my stories.
Yeah, always up for it.
So thank you, Isha, for listening, and the audience. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I think when I was studying puppetry, yeah, at that time, we were coming to the end of our
I'm
session
so sorry.
where our
Your
mentor.
voice is cracking a bit. Uh, Can you say that again, please?
Yes, yes. So when I
Yes.
was doing my last few months of my course in puppetry, I got an offer from my mentor itself,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me, "Rinty, would you like to do a puppet show? Because you're learning, it would give you an exposure. See how it feels to perform in front of a live audience."
Hmm.
And I was, okay, ma'am, let me try. And then she threw the iron ball. Rinty, it's for 500 children,
No way.
grade 1 and 2. I was like, I held my heart, 500 children, ma'am. How will I do it?
That was your first
They said,
one.
yeah.
Oh,
She said, देख ले, करना है तो कर ले. इससे अच्छा मौका you'll not get in.
right.
I was like, okay, what should I do? How much time do I have? I spoke to
Hmm.
the school and they said around you'll get around 20 days ke baad you have to perform.
Hmm.
I looked at my puppets which I had made till now and they're all 1.5, 1 foot puppets.
Hmm.
Mostly 1 foot. And they don't have a mouth. They were not Muppets because our mentor was teaching us all traditional puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Muppets is a very evolved puppet. It's not a puppet which is in the traditional puppet art. So she was not teaching us this. I wanted some puppet who could talk.
Hmm.
क्योंकि 500 बच्चों को reach करना is something which is very difficult and the age is very vulnerable, 6 and 7.
Hmm.
So we thought, I you know, approached one of my friends who was also starting with me. I said, Chalna, let's give it a shot. We both were very scared. So we decided to, do the show. Let's do it together and we'll manage. So she said that, but how will you make something within such a short time? So I said, let me try. So all these Google Baba and YouTube were to my rescue, and I went crazy researching and finding out
Hmm.
something which I can do. And there was not too much, but whatever I could gather from her, because I think that by then I had not researched very well. I was just new. I think researching is also an art, isn't it, Isha? Doing
Definitely.
a research and finding out the right
Hmm.
thing which you're looking for is an art.
Hmm.
So I did not have that skill at that time. So I was not getting info.
Hmm.
So whatever I could gather, I created this beauty. She's called
Hmm.
Mia or even Chiku. She has very many names. She's also called Tamanna. She dons on many hats,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how she came. And that show was a hit. Children had
Oh.
there was a stampede at the end, and I had to rescue a few children at the end. I actually the first time I opened my puppet and kept it hastily, and I jumped to rescue a few children because they all wanted to come and hug her.
Wow. Wow, what a response.
Crazy.
Yeah. That must have been a trigger for you in a way that you know that this is something that you can do.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
gave me a
you,
kick.
we have Mia with us today, it seems.
We have Mia, and I'll take a moment to get her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's my darling. So I
Oh.
had, you know, I have two boys, so this is the third girl in my house. I
That's
dress her up and I adorn her with bangles and I
that's
make
nice.
fuzzy dresses. And Mia, how old are you? Tell her.
How old are you, Mia?
Hi, Auntie. I'm Mia. I'm only 5 years old. I love to sing. I love to dance. I
Ah,
like ABCs.
you are
Mia, no
incredibly
eating a
cute.
thumb. No eating a thumb.
Oh yeah, Mia is incredibly cute. Like she looks a little different. I cannot seem to shake the fact that she looks a bit raw, if I may use that word, which definitely gives her a little edge. Um, Incredibly cute, raw Mia. It is intriguing. Is there a story behind creating Mia? What is it like?
Yeah, so I said I was struggling with with uh, the way to make her because I had no clue. And
Mm-hmm.
making this mouth itself is a kind of an art, because you're supposed to make it in the way it fits your hand, and you need
mm,
to know how to do a syllable talk. Like, I mean, the way I'm opening my mouth, she has to open her mouth like this
mm,
similar way. So I did not get any proper videos at when I was making Mia, whereas I got when I was doing working for Bosky.
mm,
So I actually took screenshots of puppets, and I tried making the templates, and that's how she was created. So actually, she's not very comfortable to wear. I can't wear her for more than 15 minutes. It starts hurting a lot because her mouth is very crude, like you said, the way she is. But because she has a very, I don't know, there is something about her which makes the children really, really, fall in love with.
yeah,
I remember when I was working with this, I did not even know what foam to use or what is felt. I knew nothing. So
mm,
I just got, this foam from one of my friends who was having a little bit of gatta in her house, this foam which he used for furniture.
right.
So that's how I made her. And at the end, when I had to make her hands, there was nothing left. So I used my husband's socks to make them. And I didn't make a body like I did for Bosky. She's just a foam sheet here. So she's pretty crude, but she serves the purpose.
She does.
The
Yeah.
message is fast, and she has a different dress for different occasions. And she's, she has different earrings too and clips too. Right, Mia? Yeah, I have five pencils, five pens.
Oh, that's
So,
lovely.
and her hairstyle has been done by one of my very dear friends. So she loves her a lot. So whenever she goes to my friend's house, she gets a new dress. She gets a new hairstyle. So she's very privileged. And
Yeah. Oh, very cute, Mia. It's so nice to meet with you.
see,
Mwah.
I just love flying kisses. I can't help it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. When we're talking about Mia, who seems to be your first daughter after you, the two sons that you have, there's another special daughter that you have, I believe. I happen to see a lot of your work on YouTube, and I specifically really like You Are Special, the series that you have on YouTube. It
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's really nicely done. Like the voiceover is so nice, and it's giving such a nice warm message in a great format. So, and I don't seem to remember the name of the other daughter. Her name is wait, let me recall.
Sachi.
Sachi.
She's
Yes,
Sachi.
Sachi.
Yes.
Yes. So Sachi, what prompted you to make Sachi that character?
I think Sachi is an extension of me. That would be the right thing to say. Although they all are my extensions, they are all my alter, like you mentioned,
Mm,
personalities. We
mm,
all have this, and we all hide it. So Sachi is, it's deep down she was hidden.
mhm,
Uh, if I go way back to my childhood, I was a very, very average girl, last bencher, you can say, and I would even stammer a lot. The only thing I would do is draw, paint a bit, or sing a bit. That's all I could do. Or I had a great stage fright too. So, I was not a child who was very in the limelight all the time or anything.
mm,
So I always felt that because of this, I was judged a lot. And everybody has something to be happy about or feel proud about. But I felt that our system is such, no, our education system is such that it always looks at the academic part,
mm.
or maybe the part which everybody is following. It's like
Right.
we are printing out some robots. That's how I call it. So I always felt I was judged by people, so I started believing that I actually started
Mm,
believing that I'm not so great in studies and all. And then when I came out of the school and I was in college, I came in a new environment, and my environment around myself also changed. There were a lot of things happening
mm,
in my life.
mm,
And I decided to try again in my life, and and I was surprised by my grades. I was doing very well. And not just that, my friends told me that, Rinty, that whenever you tell us something, you teach us something, you have that ability that you're able to make us understand. So that
mm,
is the time I already realized that, okay, I have this teaching skill in me. So, this is how I grew. And I told I did so many jobs. I did 16 jobs because
wow.
I wanted to try everything. And there was
Right.
another reason because I feel that, when you do something with your own uh, money, especially youngsters, there is more passion towards it. So
Hmm.
I always worked and I studied. I worked and I studied parallelly. I did it. I attended night classes and I used to work in the day. That's how I did my uh, further education within graphics or business studies. I did a diploma in business studies. Whatever I did, I
Mm-hmm.
tried to do it with my own pocket money, which I was earning. That made
Mm,
me switch jobs a lot. So I did a lot of jobs. And
mm-hmm.
finally, when everything I did, and I was doing what I liked, and I was just seeing a video on YouTube, and where a priest was telling a story to all the people in the church.
Mm-hmm.
That story hit me, and I felt that the story is for me. And I went and I researched the story. I was like, because he never told the name of the story, just said the
Wow.
story. I literally typed the words and I went in Google. I went crazy to search for the story. And
Mm-hmm.
finally, I got the story. It's called You Are Special. And
Mm-hmm.
I must have read the book, I think, 50 times. That's why we come here, even more than that. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to dream about that story. And one day, my husband said, you like the story so much. How would you visualize it?
Mm,
I said, I would visualize it as Sachi telling us her story, sitting in a corner, and, uh, you know, that should be dark. And I gave him a bit of scenario. He really liked that. And he said, why not shoot it together? But you have to rescript it. So
mm.
that's how it began. But there was no structure. We had not made Sachi till then. It was
Oh.
just a concept which had come. I had decided to make it a completely musical one. So
Mm-hmm.
all my emotions were under form of lyrics. The first time I wrote lyrics, I scripted something, and I gave it even music.
Mm,
And a few background scores were even played by my elder son. And you know, it was a different experience. 6 weeks it took us to make those 6 episodes, which totally sums up to only 15 minutes. But it
uh,
took us 6 weeks.
well, now that I rewatch it and everybody else who does go and watch it, we will know how much effort has gone into those 15 minutes of 6 episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wow, that's an inspiring story, Rente. That's really nice. Yeah, when we're talking about art and in any form of art, in the source, it feels like it is source of entertainment, and it is true. But it's, I believe, not just limited to that. It addresses something that is deeply embedded in us, and the art that enables individuals to express themselves freely. So, at times when children are not able to express themselves, your art comes in handy through your artwork and interaction with a friendly puppet. It gives them a platform um, to feel one with the puppet, and to be able to open up even more. I From this is what I gather from your stories. So, is this art form, puppetry, uh, therapeutic according to you? What has your experience been like in this respect?
Yes, absolutely. Like what I've always felt uh, as a person, that that I have been judged. I was just sharing with you.
Correct.
Or maybe some things like I am also special. I am also capable.
Hmm.
Try, try me. Try watching what I do. Try
Hmm.
seeing what I write.
Hmm.
Try be an audience for what I do. I mean, that was my thought from the way I was growing up. From the times
Hmm.
I was growing up, and it was just I was just lucky I got a story, but and that's even if I've not got a story, maybe I would have made a story like this. I sometimes feel, because that gave an outlet to my emotions.
Right.
So it is therapeutic for me because I've been able to express what was gathered in my heart. Oh, I think these are all knots which need to be untangled. We all have these knots, and
Definitely.
they are all from our childhood, and they stay. If we don't untangle them, it causes illness also. This untangling has begun, and with my puppets, I'm able to express things which I could have never expressed, maybe, and maybe I will keep expressing more. And this is therapeutic. Not just that, Isha, even when I'm making them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when I made Sachi for that matter. So this is Sachi, and she's a challenge, let me tell you, in manipulating.
Mm.
She's a Bunraku puppet,
Mm.
and Bunraku puppet has to be controlled by three people, actually.
Okay. Okay.
It was a challenge performing with her because her hands are just like a human hand. They are bendable everywhere, the knee joints, the neck joints.
Mm.
She has a hip just like us. I mean, she's very, very real. And another challenge which I had in this puppet is, you know, uh, again, I'm saying why, because making her was so therapeutic because uh, when you're sculpting something,
Mm.
you get that happiness which I got when I was making. So, and she's, as I said, she's a challenge because she has a fixed emotion. I mean, she
Correct.
doesn't change. Just like Hare Kaka changed with his laughter and his talk. She doesn't do anything. So
Right.
we have to bring like your special has. It'll be showing you so many emotions. She'll be scared. She'll be sad. She'll be happy. She'll be surprised with the same face.
Right.
So that is that thing which was the most challenging with this puppet. But I was, thank God, I could. I think at least, I think 80% I could do it.
Yeah, no, no, no. I didn't even think about this when I was watching it, but you're right. She has a stable face that is not going to change with her emotions. And yet it was, you were able to, or she was able to communicate her emotions, which is, yeah, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah, nice. So I feel like, puppet shows are perceived to be for children, primarily for children, so to say. But of course, after watching your series on your special, I did not feel like that anymore. I am now of the opinion that it is a platform for every age group to learn from because it's just another art form that can cater to a larger audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
I think Sati has touched the hearts of many people also. They're not children, let me tell you.
mhm.
Many of my friends have called me after this show and told me, Rinty, I felt that this is my story.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, they were like, they all felt that this is something which they also wanted to express. It was very nice doing it.
Lovely. That's so nice to hear. Um, I would like to move on to a more technical question about career in puppetry, and I'm sure some of our viewers who are watching our show are curious about puppetry as a career option as well. So, what has your experience been like? Did you face any resistance, or has it been a smooth sail?
In our country, the traditional puppets are mostly, they have an upper hand because we being a traditional country, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this stays within their own generation to generation. So very few puppeteers train outsiders. Very few. There are quite a bit in our country, but very few train them properly. So
Mhm.
that is one thing which the biggest hiccup which I feel. Secondly, we don't have anything which is recognized by any of the universities. Like it's not like a postgraduate course like you see. You go to England, you go to Italy. They have postgraduate courses in puppetry.
Yeah.
So and staying in India, if I want to do such a course, it costs me 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. For us, it is not easy. So I sometimes wish that this kind of culture, because
Mm-hmm.
we are a cultural country, why not bring something like when we can have fine arts, when we can have design, when we can have fashion,
Yeah.
shoes. and so many other things. We're designing bags. Why not puppetry? It is the soul of India. So why don't
Mm.
we stamp it, give it a stamp? So that is what I faced, because wherever I'm doing a course, I'm not getting any degree for say. So most of it is from the people who are either I have been lucky to be associated with good mentors who are traditional artists or who have been the pioneers in television. My mentors have been Meena Nayak and a very famous shadow puppeteer in Pinguli called Chetan Gangavane. They have all trained me, but I wish it was very formalized and recognized. So that
Right.
is one place where people think. Even people ask me till date, कि puppetry what is that? क्या करते हो? So तभी कभी कभी लगता है
Mm.
कि okay इसको awareness ज़्यादा चाहिए.
Correct. Mm.
So
Okay.
it's a risk when you're doing puppetry. But
Mm.
yes, if you are consistent and you're passionate about it and you're ready to work hard, I think it's a good job. Good job.
Yeah. Pretty rewarding, it seems.
Very
Yeah. And so, Rinti, you mentioned that you're doing more work in the field of art beyond puppetry, which, is also, I think, a bit going towards the modern side of it because, you're trying to incorporate all kinds of art forms. I would, to make it, interdisciplinary, so to say, which is quite fascinating. Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, Isha. I think your last question, I can connect it with this if you don't mind.
Sure.
Is
Yeah.
it okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like I said, we don't have a structured course.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did puppetry, I lost out on the voice modulation. I lost out on my body movements. So I was a puppeteer, but I felt that I could do more. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, children think in 400x, and I was just reaching 50x or maybe 100x. So I want to reach that 400x, and I've not yet reached. So
Mm-hmm.
then what I do is I try and hone in other skills from other sources. So that's why I want to tell people out there who want to try, they can do this. What I've tried doing. I've realized that writing scripts is much better than picking up a book because then there are a lot of copyright issues also. Sometimes you can go by the book, sometimes have your own scripts, write your own songs. So I attended workshops on how to script stories.
Mm-hmm.
I attended workshops on how to mime. I was very lucky. I was in France that time, and I just got to know that there is a very famous mime artist in Montreal, and I did have much time. And that day Paris had a it was a closure. There was something happening, some strike, but still I traveled with my husband there, and I spent one day with the mime master. He's called the mime master of that place, and I learned so many skills from him. And after I learned 1 year of classical singing, it has helped me sing when I'm doing puppetry
Mm.
with and singing because music always attracts children or anyone for that matter.
Right.
And then I decided, okay, now I'll learn how to play an instrument. So I learned a guitar for more than a year. I play all right. I can play quite a couple of songs and all. So and learned how to play the African drum. I did a workshop with one of the
Mhm,
drum masters. And then
mhm,
what I'm doing is now I'm not stuck with somebody who is going to give me something. If I can outsource the day, I become so vast and so big and I can have a team, that's a different thing. Till then,
let's hope that happens.
why don't I, so it's how
Mm.
I'm able to grow.
Right.
So basically I'm trying to do things from here and there and each thing is coming in and making me a better puppeteer. So it's I
Mm.
think a very uh, it's an art which makes you learn a lot of things.
Right.
Voice training, yes, I did the basic voice training from two mentors, and it
Mhm,
has helped me a lot. Plus this
mhm,
classical bass, and I'm learning Sufi music now. All this is adding up to how I speak and my diction, or maybe how I change my voice. It helps.
right. Right. No. So making amalgamation of many art forms is being brought about on the stage through your puppetry. When you learn a lot of things, are you're able to implement it on. That's really nice. Yeah. And just a sidetrack thing, I would just like to address the fact that we are already over 10 minutes. to the promised 1 hour timing. And but this conversation, Rinty, with you has been a breeze, and so it just feels very natural that we probably will keep talking, but we need to come to a good closure. I do have a last question, but I would before that I would just like to say to people who decided to stick around with us till this moment, thank you very much. And by the end of the interview, we're also going to address a few of the viewers' question answers. So if you have any questions, please shoot. We might not be able to answer all the questions, but we might pick up one or two questions that we think will be nicer for Rinity to answer. And yeah, so we will have a few minutes for that as well in the end. And so, Rinty, to wrap up our conversation, I would like to ask you a very interviewish question, if I may. Yeah, I do recognize it's a very cliched question, but I also feel like it's important to keep refreshing to oneself what one wants to do. So, the question is, where do you see yourself and puppetry in 5 years from now, or 10,
Well,
or two, whatever is most comfortable for you to think about? Have you given it much thought, though?
yeah, I mostly live for today, Isha. It's a very difficult question for me because I live to
Yeah.
the fullest for today. I always think it's my last day. But
No,
this question
definitely
is
not.
also important. Yes.
Yeah. Well, there is no time like present, so
Yes.
why don't you
But
give
yes,
it?
this is something which I would definitely, give you a very prompt, with a spontaneous answer. I think is that in 5 years or maybe even 10 years from now, if I am, doing things which I really like to do and keep growing, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I would like to do is create an awareness with others.
Right.
Uh, that is the first thing that you know that this being or whatever is able to do things which a human being can't. This awareness is very important, which many schools are now getting aware. I think now I can see a lot of change happening in the last 2 years, which I've not seen. This is first thing I want to do. Second thing, I my dream is to make a curriculum for the little children with my puppets, where concepts are taught in a very fun way with puppets. That is
Mm-hmm.
one more thing I'm really working on now.
Yeah.
And another thing I'm working on is I am thinking of uh, writing down all my experiences. Like I have a lot. Whenever I go for a session, I always have case studies, and they all my case studies, which I experience. I always like to share my experiences so that the student who's learning with me in the workshop, puppet workshop, they know what all problems can you encounter when you're doing a puppet show. So I
Correct.
want to pen them down and make a proper structure, which like when I learned puppetry, I felt that that structure was somewhere missing. Wish I
Mm-hmm.
could get that structure. That okay,
Mm-hmm.
this comes and then this comes, like a proper foundation, the way it's growing on top. So
Right.
that is what I want to create, that kind of a structure. I want to reach out to more people who are interested in pursuing this art, and I want to share the structure with them and do some formal education in puppetry.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's going to happen, but yes, I want to do it. It's my dream. Who knows? I may even, uh, you know, convince, collect a team, and when I'm they're very old, and then I may
Yeah.
fight that you have to make this degree course. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's all about dreaming and just striving to fulfill your dreams. So yes, why not? Like keep at it. That would be incredible because there are so many budding artists who would benefit from your initiative, and I believe they already are also. So great work, Rinzi. Great work. You
Thank
know
you,
what?
Isha.
Yeah.
Isha,
Yeah.
you have been asking me so many questions, and the last question was a bomb. Now I want to ask you something.
Uh-huh, okay.
Keep all the rules of your interviews of TLR
Sure.
shows.
Sure.
What is your dream, Isha?
Ah, well,
You.
my dream. My dream. Well, it's something similar to your dream. Yeah. What I wish to do is to introduce empathy and compassion as a core grain of human existence. And so, what I believe is, sure, we can work with adults. We can teach them the concept of empathy, and we can propagate the idea, because in workplace as well, and in family, it's we're lacking the connect. We're lacking a lot of compassion that is needed for one another, to just sit back, listen, relax, and just not just hear the person, but also listen and imbibe, and then without any judgment, try to empathize with the person, so you can, put it into action through compassion. And that lack has triggered this desire in me to, to push through, and to introduce empathy as a subject, um, not essentially an academic subject, so to say, but like something in the curriculum of school, and and with parents, in that respect, in that realm, to introduce empathy in early childhood education. Because with early childhood, your mind is like a sponge. You are going to imbibe and, soak in everything you get. And what the experiences that you have as children, from the age of when you're born to maybe 10 or 12, are your foundation ages. So in your foundation, I can't believe you switched the the interview pattern. But the foundation age is something that is going to make them the kind of people they are. So
Yeah.
I don't want that in future, when they grow up as adults, they are told about compassion and empathy, and that is something they have to learn. Instead, when they are young, they grow up with the idea of compassion and empathy, and it is a part of their personality. And so it is not something that we need to work on as adults. Rinti,
Absolutely.
yeah, well, I believe that a big change in the world comes about with efforts of one person at a time. And I believe you are one of those people, bringing bigger change uh, by, just one small step. And every small step that you take is going to have an impact, a ripple impact on a lot of other people as well. So it's very important that if you believe in something, and if you think, I know it sounds very big, like I will change the world, but yes, each one of us has something in us to think about changing the world in whatever capacity they can. And by changing the world, it's like, first you have to recognize your own flaws, try to work on them, and then try to, propagate what you want to. So for
Yes.
children to be able to be creative and compassionate, to really be able to do what they want to, and not be limited by their beliefs that have been told to them, to for growing up with the message of positivity, empathy, non-judgment. Children today are going to make for tomorrow, which is more confident, which is more inclusive, which is more compassionate place to live in. And so I believe one must therefore never stop dreaming. Wow.
Yes.
You just opened a floodgate.
See, it's good. I'm so happy you opened up.
Yeah, no, me too. Me too. Thank you for asking the question, Rinty.
Yeah, because I
It
think
was,
it's very important we ask this dream to everyone. We should all ask, at least ourselves. Nobody's asking you, to all the audience members who are watching me. If nobody's asking you, ask yourself, what is your dream? And if not now, maybe after 5 years, maybe for 10 years, but keep dreaming and try to achieve it. I mean, step by step, small baby steps.
yeah, yeah, definitely. That's it's incredible the conversation we had today, Rinti. I am sure the audience and everybody who's live with us also felt the same way. It is I am absolutely positive that we're all there was an enriching session, and thank you our audience for tuning in. And a huge shout out to Hare Kaka, to Mia, to Bosky, to Sachi, for making your special appearance and entertaining us all through. And of course, the biggest thank you to Rinity Sen Gupta, our master puppeteer, for carving time out for being a part of TLR shows. Thank you, Rinity.
Thank you.
Uh, it was a delight to chat with you.
Same
Uh,
here.
yeah, please, to everybody who's watching, please follow Rinty Sen Gupta and Hanson Stories for all her wonderful shows and all the wonderful things that she will be doing in the future. And for more uplifting and enriching conversations like this, follow TLR now to stay updated about TLR shows as well. Thank you again, everybody, for joining in. And until next time, I would say bye bye. Unless you have questions, I am open to them as well. So do let me know if you have any questions. We have about 3 to 5 minutes to address your questions. It's okay to have a pregnant pause once in a while, as was said to me by Rinty Sengupta. So yeah, in a pause, we would wait for your questions. Shoot your curiosity. There is no problem at all. We are all ears to answer. Um, I see here Mr. Trivikram says that it would be good to know how to connect with Rinti Sengupta for more information on puppetry if someone takes it as a passion or a career. What do you have to say, Rinti? How
Of
does
course,
somebody connect with you?
you can
How?
drop in a message at my Gmail account. It's handsandstories@gmail.com. It's hands n handsnstories.gmail.com. @gmail.com, not dot, sorry. Handsandstories@gmail.com.
Okay,
So
okay.
you can put in the chat box if you're free, Isha, if you could do that.
Yeah.
It's HANDS.
Maybe somebody else can.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe
yeah,
that
from
can
the
be
back
done.
end.
Or you can just type hands and AND stories on YouTube and you will get all the information.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good connect. And I'll be very glad to help you.
Lovely. I hope Mr. Trivikram got his answer. If there is somebody else who has any question, we have another 2, 3 minutes. Yeah. I'm so glad we connected, Rinti. It was a pleasure to talk to you. This connection is going to go on for a while.
Yeah, it was
Thank you
very,
so
very
much.
nice. It's very comforting and I
Thank
mean
you.
the time just went like a breeze.
It did. It did. Thank you, Prachi. Thank you, Anish. So there is Mr. Jayant Tiwari, whose message just vanished. But yes, best wishes. Thank you so much, Mr. Jayant Tiwari.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Shreya Singh. Okay, I think there are no more questions coming in. I am so glad to that so many people have joined in and stuck around till the end of the conversation. Although we took a bit of more time than we promised. Thank you so much. And yeah, we hope to talk to Rinti again. And uh, yeah, we thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Rinti. And all right. Until next time, everybody. Bye bye.